The story that often starts in the fast-paced, sometimes chaotic and relentlessly bright and noisy atmosphere of the entertainment industry frequently takes twists and turns that no one, not even the most seasoned commentators or the people directly involved, could have possibly predicted, and it is against this backdrop of sudden changes and emotional peaks and valleys that we begin our narrative today. The narrative of life that seems to move from one massive story to the next, never truly settling into predictable rhythms for long before a new development completely reshapes the landscape of public and private events for those living it, and indeed the world that closely observes it with endless curiosity, as if looking into a constantly shifting kaleidoscope. It is a world where moments are fleeting, and yet some seem to contain within them the power to change everything forever, or at least that is the prevailing feeling in these initial stages. When the air is thick with anticipation and the possibility of something profound about to emerge, a new chapter beginning before the previous one has even properly closed, ensuring that the momentum never truly slows down and the tension remains high. In this fast-moving world where visibility is everything and obscurity is dreaded, any break in the usual flow of information is noticed and analyzed. And when a pattern begins to emerge suggesting a significant personal shift or even a massive piece of life-altering news, it becomes the main focal point of endless speculation and discussion, drawing in viewers who are both familiar with the history of the personalities involved and those who are only just catching wind of the developing situation, all united by a shared sense that something big is on the horizon. The setting for this opening act is not a typical city street or even a busy red carpet, but a feeling, a mood, a moment of profound significance captured and shared, which then sets off a domino effect of revelations that weave themselves into a story larger than any single post, picture, or quote, promising a deeper look into a transformation that has been unfolding quietly, away from the prying eyes and intense glare of publicity until now. The very idea of an unfolding story, of a layered reveal that is both personal and public, and the gradual peeling back of the curtain on a significant event that is both joyful and life-changing, creates an environment where everyone wants to know more, to understand the path that led to this point, to see the connections and the backstory that make the present moment truly meaningful. As we embark on exploring this captivating story, please consider engaging with us by, if you could, clicking the subscribe button to follow along with this narrative and all others we bring you, ensuring you do not miss a single development as this complex and truly intriguing tale of love, life, and new beginnings continues to be unveiled and thoroughly discussed step by important step, bringing to light details and moments that paint a complete and compelling picture of a journey we are only just beginning to trace. The prelude to the monumental announcement that would capture attention and ignite conversation was not a sudden burst of activity, but rather a carefully managed, deliberately quiet period, a time of retreat from the public glare, where something significant and deeply personal was allowed to flourish and grow in the private sphere, away from the endless cycle of observation and commentary that defines so much of contemporary media and reality television culture, allowing for a sense of normalcy and grounded connection to form in an otherwise often performative environment. And this very contrast, the existence of a private world within a public life, added to the intrigue and the sense that when the details were eventually revealed, they would possess an extra layer of depth and sincerity, telling a story that was genuinely felt rather than just performed for an audience, in an era defined by constant oversharing and instant visibility. The deliberate choice to step back and nurture a new relationship and prepare for a new life without immediate and constant public dissemination is not only unusual but also fundamentally reshapes the narrative of that relationship, turning it into something more carefully considered and meaningful, a slow reveal that builds a unique form of tension and anticipation that differs greatly from the usual instant gratification of celebrity news cycles. This gradual unfolding of events, this strategic and also purely emotional decision to keep a secret, particularly one of this magnitude and joy, generates its own unique form of energy and interest, encouraging viewers to look for clues and hints while waiting for the full picture to emerge, a picture that when it finally does appear will be rich in detail and emotion. As a result, the eventual arrival of the public confirmation was not just a simple news item, but the culmination of a period of quiet, a reward for patience, and the beginning of a whole new discussion. As the elements that had been carefully hidden were brought into the light, ready to be understood and celebrated by those who had been following from a distance, or perhaps just tuning in to see what all the fuss and focus might be about. The narrative that we are beginning to build is fundamentally rooted in this powerful interplay between the unseen and the seen, the private reality and the public persona, and the unique challenges and triumphs that come with navigating both when life suddenly and beautifully throws a curved ball, or perhaps rather drops a piece of life-altering news directly into your lap. A moment that can neither be contained nor easily kept secret forever, demanding expression and acknowledgement, thus beginning the journey that we are here today to explore in its entire and quite remarkable fullness, detail, and emotional complexity, promising to leave no stone unturned as we follow the story from its hidden beginnings to its triumphant and widely celebrated present, and beyond this very duality, the balancing act of public life and private happiness sets a unique stage for understanding the events that have dominated the conversation and which promise to remain a topic of fascination for considerable time to come. Because it speaks to a universal truth about the desire for genuine connection amidst the often performative nature of the world, and indeed the specific branch of reality entertainment that is so often at the center of attention and scrutiny, and which requires a unique resilience to successfully navigate. The sheer contrast between the quiet building of a foundation, the deliberate crafting of a new and positive chapter after turbulent times, and the subsequent reveal of massive life developments, provides the entry point for our consideration of this truly captivating and layered story that is both personal and very, very public, promising to hold your full attention. The unfolding of this story, therefore, represents not just a series of events in the lives of a couple, but a deeper reflection on resilience, hope, and the incredible capacity for new beginnings that exist even after public difficulties and past heartaches, showing that everyone deserves and can absolutely achieve happiness. A theme that resonates broadly and makes this entire narrative so truly compelling and captivating to follow, offering as it does a glimpse of a different, more optimistic trajectory that stands in stark contrast to the oft-reported conflicts and dramas of the world in general and reality television in particular. This narrative journey, beginning as it does with an air of intrigue and the gradual lifting of a curtain that had deliberately been drawn, will naturally unfold in stages, much like the relationship it chronicles, ensuring that with each new piece of information revealed, you, the valued viewer, are brought closer to the heart of a story that is rich with human emotion and the transformative power of love and a positive, forward-looking commitment. A journey that we invite you to take with us as we thoroughly and respectfully analyze and subsequently present to you all the vital details and important context that together make this a truly one-of-a-kind narrative filled with hope, anticipation, and indeed significant and unexpected life changes that are only just starting to be fully appreciated and understood by the wider public, and which will be examined with due care, thoroughness, and context as we move forward into subsequent parts of this special, multifaceted, and in-depth video report. The quiet period of careful concealment and relationship building finally gave way to a moment of brilliant clarity and public celebration when the world was treated to the stunning revelation of an engagement and an impending addition to the family. An announcement that shifted the entire discourse surrounding the well-known television personality and his new partner into a space of pure joy and shared excitement. And this monumental moment was delivered directly to the public through the modern medium of social media, specifically an evocative Instagram post on a Tuesday that immediately caught fire across the digital landscape, spreading with remarkable speed and generating a massive wave of congratulations and enthusiastic commentary from fans, friends, and fellow reality television figures alike. The post itself was a masterful blend of emotion, scenic beauty, and deeply personal milestones, featuring a slideshow of images that captured the essence of a love story that had been unfolding quietly for months, away from the constant scrutiny of cameras until it was ready to be presented in its full radiant glory. At 34 years of age, James Kennedy chose one of the most romantic settings in the entire world to ask 23-year-old Jordan Meyers to be his wife. A decision that speaks volumes about the depth of his feelings and his desire to make the moment truly unforgettable for both of them. Choosing the historic and incredibly picturesque Villa d'Este, situated along the breathtaking, dramatic shores of Lake Como in Italy, a location famous worldwide for its timeless elegance, lush gardens, and dramatic mountain backdrops that lend an almost cinematic quality to any event transpiring within its bounds. The images shared in the post painted a vivid picture of this life-changing moment, showing Kennedy down on one knee, traditional and vulnerable, popping the question to a clearly radiant Meyers against that majestic Italian backdrop. A visual that instantly resonated with anyone who has ever believed in the power of a grand romantic gesture, and one that stands as a stark and beautiful contrast to the often volatile environments and dramatic confrontations with which Kennedy's public persona had previously been associated in his career. The details of the imagery added a layer of casual, authentic charm to the grandeur of the setting, with Kennedy sporting a pair of comfortable chinos and a wrinkled white button-up shirt that was characteristically only half-buttoned, a style that felt relaxed, unforced, and entirely genuine to his personal aesthetic, while Meyers looked effortlessly elegant and striking in a short red dress that popped beautifully against the soft, ancient stone and deep blues of the Italian estate, creating a perfect visual harmony between the couple and their historic surroundings. Interestingly, Meyers chose a slightly different, more personal approach for her own social media presentation of the engagement, focusing her upload on individual shots of herself and the magnificent Italian estate where her life had just taken this massive, beautiful turn, capturing the solitary wonder of the moment and the overwhelming reality of the commitment she had just made, accompanying the elegant visuals with a witty, understated caption that read simply, "Suddenly I am left-handed," a clever and light-hearted nod to the substantial engagement ring that now adorned her finger and symbolized the profound shift in her personal universe. This public confirmation arrived just weeks after reports had first begun to surface in various media outlets suggesting that the reality star was expecting a child with a mystery woman. A period of intense speculation during which fans and commentators had been eagerly trying to piece together the identity of the person who had captured Kennedy's heart and brought such a profound sense of peace and purpose into his life, making the official introduction of Meyers and the simultaneous announcement of their engagement and pregnancy a double revelation that carried an immense amount of narrative weight and emotional impact. Following the initial social media explosion, the couple chose to provide further context and share their profound happiness more formally, confirming to a major entertainment news outlet that Meyers was indeed 4 months pregnant and that their relationship had spanned a total of 8 months. A timeline that reveals a swift, powerful, and deeply felt connection that moved forward with absolute certainty from the very beginning, defying conventional timelines in favor of a genuine, unmistakable bond that both parties felt instantly and recognized as something truly unique and worthy of a lifetime commitment. In his comments to the media, Kennedy expressed his absolute thrill at being able to finally share that he and Jordan were expecting their first child together, openly acknowledging that they had previously made a conscious and deliberate choice to keep their relationship entirely out of the public eye in order to focus all their energy and attention on building a rock-solid foundation, an approach that allowed them to navigate the critical early stages of love and pregnancy without the added pressure of external opinions, internet commentary, or the heavy expectations that inevitably come with a public life in the entertainment industry. He also noted that while the general public was just now learning the incredible news, their close-knit circle of family and friends had actually been aware of Meyers' pregnancy for some time, a testament to the loyalty and support of their immediate community, who helped protect their privacy and allowed the couple the space they needed to prepare for this massive transition on their own terms, ensuring that when the news was finally shared with the world, it came from a place of absolute readiness, stability, and unified strength for her part. Meyers spoke with touching sincerity about the immediate and overwhelming connection she experienced upon first meeting Kennedy, describing a strong, undeniable spark that was felt instantly by both of them, and which set off a chain reaction of emotional growth and deep bonding that has characterized their entire 8-month journey together. A journey that has now led them to the dual milestones of marriage and parenthood. She shared that watching their love story grow so beautifully and preparing to become parents together has been the most incredible, transformative experience of her life. A sentiment that highlights the profound impact this relationship has had on her and underscores the sense of absolute certainty and joy that defines their partnership as they stand on the precipice of a completely new life together. This period of quiet cultivation and rapid, meaningful progression stands out as a unique chapter in Kennedy's life, a time of profound personal evolution where the focus shifted entirely from the external noise of a high-profile career and past public dramas to the internal reality of a growing family, a new love, and a sense of responsibility and peace that seems to have completely reshaped his outlook on the future and what matters most. The sheer volume of details surrounding this revelation, the romantic Italian setting, the carefully guarded secret, the rapid timeline, and the dual nature of the celebration, all combine to create a deeply compelling narrative that has completely captivated the public, offering a glimpse into a genuine transformation and a love story that, while brief in terms of calendar months, is clearly immense in its depth, sincerity, and long-term vision, ensuring that this chapter will be remembered as a pivotal turning point in both of their lives as they move forward into the heavy responsibilities and unmatched joys of building a home and a family together. To truly understand the profound weight of this new chapter in the life of the 34-year-old television star and disc jockey, one must look closely at the long, public, and frequently turbulent road that led him to the tranquil waters of Lake Como, and the stable foundation he has now built with his new fiancée, Jordan Meyers, a history that is etched into the minds of millions of viewers who watched him evolve, stumble, and reinvent himself multiple times over the course of a decade spent in the intense spotlight of reality television, where every mistake is magnified and every relationship is dissected by a relentless public. The journey to this point of genuine emotional maturity and quiet domestic planning was anything but smooth, marked as it was by high-profile heartbreaks and legal challenges that would have completely derailed a less resilient individual. Beginning most notably with his brief and highly scrutinized engagement to his former co-star Raquel Leviss back in the year 2021, a relationship that ended abruptly and would later become an indirect focal point of one of the most explosive and culturally dominant scandals in modern entertainment history, known globally to fans as the infamous Scandoval affair. This massive controversy, which centered around a secret, months-long romantic involvement between Leviss and veteran television personality Tom Sandoval, who at the exact same time was in a highly publicized 9-year relationship with his devoted partner Ariana Madix, sent shockwaves through the entire industry and placed everyone connected to the social circle under an unprecedented level of global media scrutiny, reminding the public of just how chaotic, volatile, and fragile relationships can be when lived entirely within the performative and high-stakes bubble of reality television production, following the painful collapse of that engagement and the subsequent fallout that enveloped his entire social world. The British-born disc jockey attempted to find stability and move forward with his life by entering into a multi-year relationship with Ally Luber, a romance that spanned from the early months of 22 until its eventual conclusion in the year 2024, a period that was unfortunately also marred by serious external complications, including a highly publicized domestic violence arrest that threatened to permanently ruin his hard-earned career, destroy his public reputation, and end his time on television entirely. Although the severe legal case was ultimately completely cleared by prosecutors due to a distinct lack of actionable evidence and a thorough investigation that found no basis for formal charges, the intense emotional toll of the entire ordeal, combined with the public embarrassment and the pressure of constantly defending his character to an incredibly skeptical audience, forced a deep period of introspection, a moment where the reality star had to look inward and completely reevaluate his lifestyle, his coping mechanisms, his choice of companions, and his ultimate goals for his future, setting the stage for a massive personal transformation that would eventually allow him to receive and appreciate a love as healthy and grounded as the one he has found with Meyers. It is this specific dark backstory of public trials, failed engagements, and intense personal crises that makes his current happiness and the rapid, peaceful development of his 8-month relationship with the 23-year-old Meyers so profoundly significant, serving as a powerful and highly visual reminder that the public persona created on television is never the full sum of a human being, and that recovery, personal growth, and true redemption are entirely possible when an individual decides to step back from the performative noise and prioritize real-life substance over temporary screen time and social media validation. The profound transition from a man known primarily for explosive arguments, quick-tempered outbursts, and high-profile relationship drama to a focused, mature fiancé and an expectant father who deliberately hid his romance for 4 full months to protect its fragile, growing foundation represents a massive victory for personal growth, showing a clear understanding of the fact that the most precious moments in life require boundaries, privacy, and protection from the distorting effects of the public gaze. as the couple now looks forward to the imminent arrival of their first child together and the planning of a beautiful wedding that will formalize their swift but deeply felt commitment. The narrative surrounding the reality star has been completely rewritten, transforming from a cautionary tale of the dangers of early fame into an inspiring story of resilience, hope, and the incredible capacity of the human heart to heal and build something lasting and beautiful after the storm. The news of Jordan Meyers' pregnancy and their romantic Italian engagement has resonated deeply with audiences precisely because it represents a complete departure from the endless cycle of conflict that defines so much of contemporary entertainment news, offering instead a sincere glimpse of genuine human connection, a young family preparing for a bright future, and a shared journey that is rooted in a strong, instant spark that grew into an unbreakable bond away from the cameras. Proving that sometimes the best way to move forward in life is to quietly build a new world in the shadows before stepping confidently into the light together as a unified, happy team ready to face whatever adventures the future may hold for them.